So Chloe and I are about to head in to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The first one was surprisingly fun. The trailers for this one have once again looked like a fun time at the movie, so I'm excited to see it. Chloe, how about you?
Yeah!
So we're gonna go in and watch it, and then I'll let you know what I thought about it. So to set the mood, they have a DJ working right next to the press booth, signing everybody in.
Go ahead, go for it.
So I just got out of the theater watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I think this one might... Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Share your thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog 2. If you haven't seen it yet, let me know your expectation, what you thought about the original one. My thoughts aren't the right thoughts, they're just my thoughts, and I would love to hear yours. One more thing before we get started. This Saturday, April 9th, I will be at Fan Expo Philadelphia with Austin Burke, teaching a panel on how to grow a nerdy YouTube channel. After the panel, we'll be in the hallway to talk or take pictures for as long as people are interested. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, consider attending Fan Expo Philadelphia, and let's get started with the good. And let's just get right to it. This movie doubles down on everything that worked about the first film and kind of sidelines the stuff that wasn't quite as good.
That's great!
So what I really liked about the first movie is that it was this fun, lighthearted adventure with likable characters. This movie delivers more of that. So Sonic is just as charming as he was in the first film, except you add in Tails and Knuckles. Of course, Jim Carrey is just a force to be reckoned with, and he's great as Dr. Robotnik. Here, he's in full Eggman, Dr. Robotnik mode from beginning to end. No kind of basis of him being part of a government organization. No, he is the full video game version of the character, out for revenge against Sonic from beginning to end. It really feels like they paid attention to the feedback from the first film and saw what people liked and what they didn't respond to all that well. So like in the first movie, it's kind of weird that it was a road trip movie where you take Sonic, someone known for running really fast, that they make 1,000 jokes about how fast he is in the movie, and then put him in a car to drive across America. This movie doesn't do that sort of thing. It is an adventure, there's even more globe-trotting, but it's based off the stuff that Sonic does in the video games. Along these same lines, so much of what worked about the first film is that it seemed like they got the characterization of Sonic right, and there's more of that here because they add in Tails and they just have a really nice little rapport between the two of them. And they're the ones that are kind of off on this adventure in the film while Dr. Robotnik is teaming up with Knuckles and kind of chasing after them. And so there's kind of like this race aspect to it. There's the revenge aspect to it. There's the survival aspect to it. But all of it feels a little bit more grounded in the lore of the video game rather than road trip movies like the first movie was. So just things like that just elevate it a little bit, make it a little bit better, a little bit more fun, and more focused on the stuff that you want from a Sonic movie. Speaking of Knuckles, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect going into this movie, but he's a lot funnier than I was thinking it was going to be based off the trailers. His characterization has a little bit of Drax the Destroyer in him from Guardians of the Galaxy with the way that he interprets what people say. It's not a total knockoff, but it's the right amount of that type of humor that just adds a little something extra into the mix all throughout the film. Of course, Sonic is charming and fun, and they find ways to give him all the little moments where they're playing with the dog at the beginning, getting wrapped up in all these crazy adventures, more chili dogs showing up, and of course kind of forming that friendship with Tails all throughout the film. Another thing to talk about with this movie is that it felt like the action was bigger in this film. I'm not sure if the budget was bigger or if they just went for grander sequences, but there's more large set pieces with the robots, with Sonic having to run fast. There's bigger threats, things that kind of tie into the Sonic lore that are just really nice things for fans that have been playing the Sonic games throughout the decades. And it just kind of incorporates all of it into this adventure in just the right amounts. And right along those same lines, it's jam-packed with Easter eggs, references, full-blown plot points. And so all the little circumstances that Sonic finds himself in, there's some sort of reference to a video game, or you'll look at a sign of the name of a coffee shop and it's a reference to this other video game. So all throughout the whole thing, there's just a bunch of just delightful things that are surprises for the fans. And at the end of the day, it's just a really fun family adventure that has a little bit of something for everyone. So I took my 8-year-old daughter to go see it, and she absolutely loved it, thought it was hilarious, loved all the cute little creatures. I loved picking up on all these references to the original Sega Genesis Sonic games and little things that they did. I was like, I know where that came from. I know the name of that video game right there. And even as it started kind of moving into the back half of the film, I started like nudging her a little bit, predicting what I thought was about to happen, and it did pay off a number of things that I was hoping to see in the film. So it's just a fun, lighthearted adventure. It doesn't have any pretenses. It's not trying to change the world. It's just trying to entertain whole families, and I think it does a really good job at it. It has some solid laughs, some very cool action, and all of the characters are a ton of fun. And during the press tour for the movie, Jim Carrey has indicated that this might be his last role. He might retire from acting.
Well, I'm retiring, but
no.
Yeah, probably.
Are you being serious or are you screwing with me?
I'm being fairly serious, yeah.
Which I seriously doubt. But if he decides to end with this film, it's a solid film for him to close out on. He's 60 years old and he's still the king of physical comedy with the rubber face falling down, all of it. He's just as funny as he ever was, fits perfectly into this world of Sonic characters, and I thoroughly enjoyed this film. The first one was a pleasant surprise that I had a lot of fun with, but I was like, why is this a road trip movie? This one just improved on all the things I had a problem with and gave me more of what I liked. I think this one is distinctly better than the first film. From there, let's move on to the mixed aspects of the film. In here, this isn't anything good or bad, just something to discuss. There is a mid-credit sequence the same way there was with the first Sonic movie. It is something you want to stay to watch. It teases what's coming next, and if you're a fan of the Sonic games and the Sonic lore, you do not want to miss the mid-credit sequence. From there, let's move on to the bad. And the big thing here is that the main plot of the movie focuses in on Sonic partnering with Tails and Dr. Robotnik and Knuckles trying to track them down. And to do that, it sidelines the human characters by sending them off on their own subplot where they're off at a wedding in Hawaii. And so all throughout the first half of the film, it keeps cutting away from this action and this adventure you're invested in to give you an update on the shenanigans at the wedding. And you get a funny joke that'll make you laugh, but you just feel the story momentum slow down every single time. And as the movie goes along, that plot line does kind of tie into things a little bit more, but at the end of the day, all of the stuff involving the humans, all of the stuff involving the wedding is the weakest stuff in the film. And there's one sequence in particular that just feels like it goes on forever, where it just lingers on stuff happening at the wedding, and you just want to get back to the quest trying to outdo and stop Dr. Robotnik and Knuckles. And right along these same lines, because this subplot plays like a mini movie inside of the film, it has its own cast, so there's several characters who are very significant in the first half of the film who just disappear before you even get to the third act because they have nothing to do with the actual third act of the film. So it's just a little bit awkward the way it's structured. I understand that you had to do something with the human characters. They did the best they could. The sequences aren't boring. They do provide a laugh, but without question, they are the weakest aspect of the film. But hey, I'm not the target audience for this film. My 8-year-old daughter is. So here's what she had to say about the movie when we left the theater. So we just got out of watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Chloe, what did you think about Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
I liked it more than the first one because it was like full of excitement. It had more characters.
So what was your favorite part?
I liked the whole movie, but it kept on getting better and better, so the end was my favorite part. The reason why I liked it more than the first one is because, like, it was full of excitement. It had, like, a lot of unexpected parts. It was really funny. If you like the first one, I think you'll like this one too.
Real quick, before I give you my final thoughts on the film, be sure to join me down below in the comment section. What did you think about Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Or if you haven't seen it yet, what's your anticipation level for the film? Also, if you don't know this, I did a ranking a year ago of the 15 highest grossing video game movies of all time. You can check that out right up here when this video is over. A couple years back, the original Sonic the Hedgehog was such a pleasant surprise. It was way more charming and fun than I was anticipating. This film doubles down on everything that worked about the film, adds in more of the Sonic lore, and it sidelines the stuff that wasn't quite as good. There's a couple pacing issues here and there, but overall, this is a better, more fun film than the original, and if you like that movie, you should go check out this one. It's a solid piece of family entertainment. Overall, I'm gonna give it a B+ on the entertainment scale, an 8 out of 10, and you should definitely go and see this movie. If you enjoyed this video, I do have a ranking of the highest grossing video game movies of all time. You can check it out right over there. Also, remember, if you're in the Philadelphia area, consider going to Fan Expo Philadelphia this weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.